Hey YouTube, HB. So I'm doing a little quick vid here on Mission Impossible Rogue Nation. I don't know what you want to hate me. Yeah, even though that song's not in this film, it's stuck in my head all day. It's been stuck in my goddamn head all day. Limp Bizkit's rocking the set. It's like Russian roulette when you're placing your bets. Fuck Limp Bizkit. Anyway, yeah, so Mission Impossible, the good one. Nah, okay, that's not fair. There are many good ones, except for number 2, which is the most John Woo that John Woo has ever John Wooed. Remember in yesterday's video, when I was complaining about how I had my shades on and I could see my arm? I don't need to put my shades on today, observe. Fucking climate. Anywho, Mission Impossible, Ghost Protocol. Not Ghost Protocol, Rogue Nation. Ghost Protocol is one of my favorites, but that's by the by. I'm gonna do a little spoiler-free video on this one because I really like this movie. It's I like the Mission Impossible movies as a whole. I don't think they've gotten their due. I mean, they make money and they're fairly successful, but they don't really like. Ethan Hunt isn't up there with like Jack Bauer, Jason Bourne, James Bond, all the JBs. You know, he's for like really cool spy movies from the past 20 years, they always seem to kind of get overlooked. And I think there's room for that. You know, we can have like the James Bond films with all the class. We can have the Bourne movies where it's very down the line, it's serious. It's a very very much a thriller in every sense of the word. And we can have these movies which are just kind of a bit chaotic, a bit crazy, but fucking fun and exciting and blockbusters through and through. You know, it's very gadgety. This one, a little bit of plot. It follows on loosely from the last film. A lot of the plot threads are not picked up. But, you know, Jeremy Renner's back, Simon Pegg's back, Alec Baldwin's in there now. Ving Rhames is back doing more than he did in the last film. And, fuck, Ving Rhames has backed it on a bit. Oof. Getting on in his years, but you know, he's the only other person besides Tom Cruise who's been in this franchise since its beginning. So, you know, that's alright. It's 20 years, man. 20 years hard slog. And they're only on the 5th movie as well. It's kind of unbelievable. And Tom Cruise is like, we want to do the 6th one, I want to do the 7th one. I'm getting off topic again. Yeah, so Mission Impossible Rogue Nation. It's about Tom Cruise has discovered this organization called the Syndicate, which he believes are behind a number of catastrophes across the world, like plane crashes, car bombings, attacks, things like that, just to destabilize the world's economy, just destabilize everything really, and just bring it back to the Stone Age. And there's this guy in spectacles that he believes is behind it, and a lot of his mates are like, dude, sometimes these things just happen. Maybe these things are all not connected. Maybe it's just coincidence. And he's convinced there's someone behind it. And we know there is, but it's kind of cool to see like the rest of IMF and the CIA go, no, this is a fairy tale. He's insane. Alec Baldwin plays a director of the CIA who's puts it towards a committee that the IMF is a rogue organization that's just left things to chance. They cause more international incidents than they solve. They remind me of I was gonna say ISIS, you know, from Archer, but that has a different connotation now. Bad times. Anywho, yeah, so he brings it to them, and then the IMF gets absorbed within the CIA, and then it becomes a whole thing. And then it's a caper. That's what I like about this. It's a caper, dude. You have some really cool action moments. They travel the world. There's gadgets. There's sexy ladies. There's all of that. It's a good time in the movies. I will say that you've seen in the trailers that stunt where Tom Cruise is. I can't call him Ethan Hunt. I call him Tom Cruise because I'm convinced Tom Cruise is a madman who likes to do his own stunts. Because Tom Cruise is a madman who likes to do his own stunts, and nobody seems to want to tell him to stop. The stunt very early on, you've seen in the trailers where he's hanging by the side of an airplane as it's taking off. That's Tom Cruise doing that, but it happens very, very early on. Actually, it's one of the first things you see in the film. And after that, it doesn't lull, but you're like, oh, I wish they didn't use the biggest stunt right out of the gate. hell of an intro, but you know, you kind of blew your wad. There's a lot of really cool tense-filled action sequences throughout the film, especially one where Cruise has to infiltrate this weird like water funnel to get to to get to this get a little ship and stuff. It's really cool. I'm gonna do a spoiler video on this, I think, but this is the spoiler-free video. But yeah, I know. I'm like I said, it's a caper. Tom Cruise doesn't need to do his own stunts. He does. He's insane. But as long as he wants to keep doing that and keep entertaining me as such, then I am all for these movies, and I will keep coming back. So yeah, Mission Impossible Rogue Nation. I had a good time watching it. It is a good time. I will say, actually, just before I go, I will say that it does seem to lull a little bit. For a little while in the second act, you're like, gee, this is starting to drag a bit. It does pick up again in the third act. You know, the third act goes to London. It's not quite as spectacular, but there's all the tropes of Mission Impossible are there. There's no one bit where somebody hangs from wires before they touch the ground. That's not there. But one or two people go rogue. Well, actually, it's a story about people going rogue because it's a rogue nation. They're all rogue. It's a fucking nation of rogues is what it is. Tom Cruise's hair looks good. And there's a mask. Someone takes off a mask at some point. Because, yeah, actually they joke about that. Simon Pegg's character is like, yeah, and then I'll put on a mask. And they're like, no, you can't just put on a mask. That's dumb. It's dumb is what it is. So anyway, those are all of my thoughts on Mission Impossible Rogue Nation. My spoiler-free thoughts anyway. I'll probably do a spoiler video because I want to keep talking about this. So yeah, if you like this bit, please click like, subscribe, view, share, and all the usual jazz. And I'll see you when I see you, YouTube. And for God's sake, somebody do something about this weather. I can't stand it here.